There was another comedian, Mitch Hedberg, that famously went on Stern 12 days before he died of an overdose, and he was also doing heroin. And he said to Stern, "I've got it under control. I just use it for the creative side of things." Did you write and create on heroin, or was it purely just an escape from all things work, creative?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'll just tell you my own experience, which
Yeah,
is when I was on heroin, I could not write for shit. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
like literally it just killed any kind of creativity. And once I got clean, once I got into recovery, it was really like all of that. It was like the scales falling from my eyes. It was like I suddenly had these capacities and these perceptions and this kind of thought. So for me, and I know people have different experiences, but my own experience is just that it's a kind of spirit death, and that gradually and I had a friend one time, a close friend, named Tim, who in the book he goes by Cash,
Yeah.
because I had to change the names. But he said to me once, he was like, because I was trying to do my dissertation, I was trying to write stuff, and I was telling him, man, I can totally do all this amazing stuff now, and he's like, yeah, well, you're on dope, and so you probably it'll probably help like lower your inhibitions, your anxiety, so you can work for a little while. But you'll be drawing on the bank of perceptions and ideas you had before you got on dope. And once that shit is dried up, the tank will be dry and there'll be nothing else. And he was totally right about that. So from my
Mm,
own experience, like I know there's this link between creativity and addiction for a lot of people. And I feel like in general, it works differently than people imagine, because my own view is that artists and writers are super interested in addiction, in part because, like I said, the addictive drug symbolizes this kind of target for art as this kind of creation that never gets old. But I think the actual effect of it, most times, for most people I know and writers and stuff that I've read about, and it's been to degrade or compromise your capacity. You think of Faulkner, like when he was an alcoholic later in life, his writing went way down. I mean, there's lots of examples of that. But I also know that there are some people who who feel like it helps their creativity, and I'm sure that's true to an extent. But I also feel, and maybe this is the case of the comedian who tragically died on talking to Stern. I feel like when you're an addict, you'll use any excuse to try to make yourself it okay for you to use it. And if you're an addict, the only time you feel normal is when you're on drugs. So it might just have helped him in that to that extent. But
yeah.
I'm in my own life, yeah. There's no link between creativity and drugs. It's the opposite.